If you're going to market your music this year, you need to stop thinking one-to-one and start thinking one-to-many. You've got to stop thinking local and start thinking global. I remember when I used to tour and slog it out, doing clubs, doing churches, playing like 10 to 20 people a night and, barely moving the needle. And then I realized, look, like I was willing to work hard, but that means I'd have to play 10 shows just to perform in front of 100 to 200 people. But then I started to get smart and started using leverage in this concept of going one to many. And so I started to buy onto tours and get onto bigger tours. And I remember this first tour, okay, and I think we paid $500 a night. We were in front of 2,000 people. So all of a sudden, what took 10 days to do and be in front of that many people, I was in front of 10 times that amount of people in one night. But not only that, we did over 1,000 plus in merch, and I'm getting new fans. Okay, and what's so cool about this, and I know we can't tour right now during this pandemic, but it's just the idea of thinking, how can I leverage? How can I do this online? Well, one way you can do it is with features. Okay, you tagging onto somebody else's fan base online via Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, by you buying that feature or collaborating somehow or doing some 50-50 split of the song where you can tap into someone's fan base. Just like you would buy onto that show to perform, pay them to perform on your track. So they're featured on yours and you can tap into their fan base and ride that wave. As opposed to you taking your best song and you're like, oh, I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm just going to keep it for me, and because I don't want anybody else on it. I don't want to share any of the publishing. I don't want to share anything. But then what's the point of having 100% of the pie of that song if no one hears it, if it's not making any money? You need to switch your mentality and say, oh, this is an amazing song. I need to get an amazing artist on here so it can get heard. All right? Because you didn't make that song for not to get heard, right? You made it so that people could hear it. So I want you to think, who can you work with? Who can you leverage? How can you work smarter instead of harder? All right? Otherwise, you're going to just keep going around the same mountain, playing those same shows, 10, 20 people, and it's going to take forever for you to grow. And I don't know about you, but I like the idea and the concept of collapsing time frames. I would rather grow my career in a year by leaps and bounds than it taking 5, 10 years. And let me tell you, I have spent years and years and years doing it the wrong way. And now I prefer to do it the right way, which is called leverage. Okay? So I hope this has inspired you. Make sure you get a copy of my new book, From Red to Black, sharing my short journey from debt to liberty. I was $30,000+ in debt when I signed to a record label, thinking I was going to be a rock star, rap star. They gave me no advance when I signed, so that kind of shows you what their belief was in me. But somehow I kept on going. We got a record released in Japan. It blew up, breathed new life into my career in America and Canada and all over the world now. And now I have the opportunity to coach other artists as well like you. So make sure you get a free copy of this. Just cover the shipping and handling. It's $10 if you're in the US. I think it's $16 if you're outside of the US. Why would you not spend $10 to $20 to tap into a millionaire musician's brain or somebody else's? Why wouldn't you buy a book? But instead you just watch the free YouTube and not take any action. Are you going to invest in a book? Are you going to invest in a course? Are you going to invest in a coach this year? Or are you going to keep asking your other broke musician friends? What's it going to be? What are you going to learn this year? All right?